Well, hello everybody. Hello. I have decided to go ahead and start a new video, and I really want to try and put out videos more frequently, although my schedule allows it to be what it is, so sorry. Nonetheless, so recently I've been doing a little bit of research, and apparently Java players have been able to build from heights of unknown precedence, using oak trapdoors, pine trapdoors, dark oak trapdoors, doesn't matter. Any kind of trapdoor. You get the idea. They use a trapdoor, they use a block, and they go down and down and down. Whereas in Bedrock, for the longest time it's been, we either bring some weeping vines or we have a water bucket. Well, you know, I have tried to figure it out, and I did actually find a couple of videos that were Bedrock based that talked about how to build down. One of them tried showing you how to use some kind of glitch interface that disconnects the server from the client, and that doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to do something in-game vanilla that will show you how to climb down. Now, trapdoors only recently, I don't remember which update, I should do the research, but I'm being lazy. They allow you to crawl, and the crawl mechanism is what the Java players use to their advantage in order to crawl or, you know, place trapdoors in such a way that they can climb down. Now, if anybody is playing something like one block, as I am trying to depict here, you should be able to climb down said one block using trapdoors. Whereas most of the time before, let's assume before 1.21 update, you weren't able to do that. Well, now that trapdoors in Bedrock will allow you to crawl, it is actually quite possible to go down from a single block in the middle of nowhere. Now, I have, in this case, brought myself up to basically height limit, one below height limit, for a specific reason. And I hope to make it clear as to why. Now, the reason, most specifically, is if I start on height limit, in order for this to work, it is very important to be able to build at least one block up in order to build one block down. Doesn't that sound counterintuitive? Yes, I'm sure it is. Whew, watch out for that angle. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and try and describe everything, and like I said, I did find a couple of videos. A lot of what I'm sharing here is a little bit based on one of the other videos I found, and the boy in question that made the video was very fast, and I don't feel like he quite clearly explained everything that was very necessary and helpful in order to do the trip down, and it was a struggle trying to figure it out for me. I don't know how it is for anybody else, especially Java players who already know how to do this, but for Bedrock players who have really never experienced it or known that it was possible, that's the whole point of this video. I don't want to be making videos for the professionals. This is for the people who need to learn or like to learn or don't yet know. Okay, so no offense to anybody else, I'm going to switch perspectives to video, my apologies. There, that makes more sense. Yay. Okay, so once again, I want to create this block. Now, here's the reason for it. I need to first be able to place an oak trapdoor on this block that I'm on, and I need to be very careful where I place it. Now, there's two places an oak door can be placed. Well, on the side of a block, that is. On the bottom side of the block or the top side of the block. Now, in some cases, depending upon your angle, it can be placed on the left or right side of the blocks, but we would really prefer to avoid that at all costs. So we try to center it and make sure that in this case, because this is our first block and we can in fact build up by at least one block, we want to try and place it where possible on the bottom end of the block, not the top end of the block, not literally the flat top. That would defeat the purpose. So if you see what I'm doing right here, I'm going to try and bring it in and bring it to the lowest portion of the block that I can place it, and boom, you see that it went down there, and I crouched to do it. For anybody who doesn't know, if you crouch, you will not fall off the side of a block. Just a little tidbit there. But it also is very important to recognize that if you are crouching and you try to place a block on top of said trapdoor, it will actually try to... I said that wrong. If you try to open or close the trapdoor like this, it only really works if you're not crouching. See, notice how I uncrouched when I did it? Because if you do it while you're crouching, let me just show you with a piece of dirt, it doesn't move the trapdoor. It, in fact, places a block and or another trapdoor depending on what you have in your selection inventory. So I'm going to go ahead and crouch and break this block so that I have all of my blocks to work with. But now that we have a bottom block selected, here's where the key factor comes in. I'm going to go ahead and jump down onto that bottom, well, preferably not jump, that's a little dangerous. I'm going to try and carefully coax myself off of this block that I'm on and onto the trapdoor. There we go. That way I can place a dirt block on top of where I was and then place a trapdoor at the top end of the block. Now, there's the two places. You got the place here and the place here of that top block. You cannot now place a trapdoor because you've already placed one at the bottom of this block. You cannot place one at the exact bottom of that block per se. You could place one at the bottom of the next block that you've set on top of it, of course. And that might actually work okay, but do it how you like. Let's see. I'm going to experiment. Okay, first of all, let's place the trapdoor on the top end of this block. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Okay, so I crouched, and it is just making me crouch. Oh, okay, so we see that this is a problem. It isn't helping us in any way because it's not making us crawl. So I think that it's very important that we make this distinction. We don't want to place the trapdoor on the top half of it. We want to place the trapdoor on the bottom half of it. Ah, okay, so that is very useful. And as such, let's go ahead and give this a try. Oh, well, there's a problem here. See, now I am currently in the way of the block that is sitting on top of there, so I can't actually place the trapdoor. And that's important to know, and I think that's a distinction that needs to be established. So what I have to do is place the dirt block by jumping, and then when I crouch and go out to the edge, I can carefully make sure that I place the trapdoor on the bottom half of this top block. And I'm being a little bit playful with it. I'm sure everybody can catch on. I understand what's going on. You don't want to place it on the top half section of this top block. You want to place it on the bottom half section of this top block. Obviously, you cannot place it on the top half section of the bottom block because there's already a trapdoor on there. So let's go ahead and try that. Boom, and we see that we have the trapdoor. Now, it seems odd that we're placing two trapdoors, but not really if you take into consideration the fact that we need to be able to crawl. Okay, so what happens? Boom, crawling. Boom, not crawling. Boom, crawling, not crawling. Now, it's important that no matter what interface you're using, you want to toggle or hold on to your crawl button, your crouch button, even after you're crawling for what I'm about to show you to work. But not that. See, I was pressing the crouch button while I activated my trapdoor. And that exposes my ignorance. So if I place a block on that trapdoor, see, it places one directly below where it normally wouldn't be able to place a block, and we want to use that to our advantage. Okay, so now I'm going to uncrouch and or make sure there's nothing in my hotbar where I'm selected, and I'm going to activate that, and I'm going to grab my trapdoor, returning it to my inventory, hopefully, if everything goes as planned, and there we go. Okay, so now as for a visual, now you understand how this properly works, and that's why you want to be crouching, but only after you activate the trapdoor. If you try to crouch while activating the trapdoor, it will mess with you if you have anything selected in your hotbar, as you just saw, and that causes a big problem. Anyway, so I'm trying to show you a technique that involves trying to go down from a single block. There is at least a couple of techniques that basically uses the same idea, but the idea is that you get down from a high place, from a floating, let's dare say, structure. But I'm going to come over to the edge of this block because that is now the only spot that is available for us to work with. And now, remember how we put this trapdoor on the bottom half of the block that's above us. Well, now that is no longer necessary. What we actually want is we want to try and figure out how to place a trapdoor on the upper half of this bottom block. But since we cannot do it because there's a trapdoor here, we want to take it to the side and place it over on this side block right here. Okay, does that make sense? I sure hope so. Because I'm going to place it. See, as you can see, it's highlighted in the different sizes of the blocks. I'm trying to do the top half of this one, but on the side. And that creates a trapdoor. And this is why we have a 3 trapdoor system for this to work. Now, this is where the crouching comes in. This is where this is so useful. See, now that I'm under the trapdoor and I'm effectively, let's say, swimming, crawling, I want to also hold the crouch button. And this is important. See, if I don't hold the crouch button and or toggle the crouch button, watch. I'll go over here to this trapdoor. The idea, of course, being that I want to put a dirt block and activate it underneath the trapdoor while it's closed. But let's not hold the crouch button. Let's not toggle the crouch button. Technically, we're crawling, but we're not crouched. Oh my word. See, this definitely makes a difference. It doesn't allow you to do what you're trying to do. And what I'm trying to do is hold the crouch button while I crawl and then activate the use command so that we will place a block underneath the trapdoor. Boom, and watch. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It actually creates a dirt block that is below us from where we're trying to build, which is exactly what we're looking for. Now it's okay to stop crouching, and it's okay to stop crawling. However, if we're going to continue on, I think that it's very advisable, unless you have a large selection of trapdoors, to go ahead and get your resources back. Boom. And that's it. And then we can go ahead and continue this process by putting, Lord help me, putting down dirt blocks where valuable. And you just want to make sure that it's very important to know when to crouch and when not to crouch. See, if I crouch right here and accidentally activate this, I'm going to place a dirt block over here. I can show you, but it ain't happening. Why isn't that happening? It should. Oh, there we go. That's because I was in the way. See? Got to be careful about that crouch command. But we're not looking to place a dirt block right there. We're looking to pick up our trap door so that we can continue the process and keep going down. Generally speaking, we don't want to lose our trapdoors because these are going to be effectively our lifesaver. Now we have a problem. This one has flapped into the wrong direction, but it's easy to fix because all we got to do is jump on top of it and place some dirt blocks around here. Okay? And that's going to allow us to activate our break command without risking the loss of the trapdoor. In fact, I like to be a little bit safe and make sure that there's less likelihood of losing it. It'd be very difficult to climb down if you only have 3 exact trapdoors. Now, I can show you an interesting technique. We have shown you how to go down using just a single block. But what if we have 2 blocks? You just want to make kind of a stair system. And as such, you kind of want to just step your way safely down the block from where you're at. Well, the same thing easily applies. See, remember how we did it before? We took and started from a block, jumped up and placed a block, and placed our trapdoors accordingly. Well, the first thing, obviously, we want to do, based on way of showing it, maybe not obvious to some, but at least to me, forgive me, is to try and place the trapdoor on the bottom of the block we're standing on. So not the top half. Remember, there's the flat we're standing on, the top half of the side we're trying to place it, and then the bottom half of the side we're trying to place it. That's what we're trying to get for. So we're very careful. I'm using a mouse and keyboard command here in Bedrock. Let's see if I can get this. Very precise. There we go. And it works. Yay! No failings right there. From this point, we can jump up and place a dirt block. We could probably go over here and place a dirt block, but however we place it, we definitely want a dirt block right here. Now I'm saying dirt block, you can use any solid block. I would, if I could, I'd use slime, but hey, it's okay. Mainly because, in my opinion, slime is the best block to work with because it just breaks so easy. But then again, there's detriments to doing that, depending upon the situation, but that's neither here nor there. As we have discovered, same as here, we go ahead and try to place another trapdoor on the bottom half of the block we just placed. Once again, not the flat that we're standing on, not the top half of that side, but the bottom half. If you can see where the mouse just moves slightly a few pixels, it just shows to the bottom of that, and we will place, boom, a second trapdoor. And then we're going to use that one to our advantage to help to build down. Now I'm going to go ahead and open the trapdoor, make sure you're not crouched so you don't accidentally place another trapdoor where we don't want it. And then we are ready to get the party started. Boom, we're crawling again, and we are looking to place another oak trapdoor, but this time on the block next to us. Now I'm going to go ahead and hold the crouch toggle button and or switch, whatever you have, because in my case the keyboard forces me to hold the crouch button rather than it being a toggle. Well, sometimes the controller interface is superior. And I'm going to place a trapdoor on the top half of the block next to me. Now, it may look like that's the same place because we have one that's right here and then we have one right here, but it's actually offset by just enough pixels that it makes it so that if I try to place a block underneath here, it will shoot it down below it because it cannot be placed in the same space as the trapdoor. Hence, exactly how it's supposed to work. Just do this a few, in this case 100 times, and you can find your way all the way down to the surface in no time. And we will keep on doing this repeated just in order to build down. And that is, from what I've learned, that is how they do it in Java. And that is how now it will work in Bedrock. That is pretty neat and pretty useful. And then we can get this back and build this around and carefully place blocks around so that I'm not going to risk losing my trapdoors. And boom, got a trapdoor here. Boom, got my trapdoor here. And then we'll just go ahead and start again from whatever side you like. Now I'm going to go ahead and place just for one last show so that everybody has good experience with this on the bottom half of this side, not the top half of this side where the pixels are. And then we're going to go ahead and jump up and place a dirt block or temporary block or whatever you might want to use. And make sure that you're very careful. Look which one's highlighted. See, you can easily highlight the bottom one where the trapdoor is, or you can highlight the one you're standing on and try and focus your pointer somewhere towards as close to the bottom of that block as you can possible before it switches the highlight. And that's where we place a second trapdoor. And then we're going to go ahead and let that put us into a crawl state. And don't forget to hold the crouch button when we place another dirt block. And there we go. So, I don't know how much help anybody gets out of this. I hope that somebody might find it vaguely useful. If anything, it's just meant as a quick, short video for both fun and, if we're lucky, educational purposes. Anyways, it's been fun trying to share this with everybody, and I am happy that we got to spend a little bit of more time working out some new Minecraft features that work in Bedrock now. Thank Mojang for some creature comforts. Anyways, everybody have a good day, good evening, and good night. Thank you and goodbye.